All right, welcome. Hey guys, it's
Genesee County
Compassion
Club show.
Yeah, that.
That's where we're at today.
Hey, welcome. Glad to be here, man. It's March. It's still cold out, so it feels like
March.
January.
It's toying with us, man. It's playing with my emotions.
It's ridiculous.
It's real nice. One day, like, I could see my grass a couple days ago. I'm like, sweet. And then it's snowing yesterday. Like,
yeah, we're 0.3 away from breaking a record, I guess.
Really?
I think so.
Well, come on. I mean, might as well break the record. We're already so close. Screw it, right?
Give us some flurries.
I prefer the March of 2 years ago where it was 80-some degrees out. I prefer that much better than this.
Oh, last year it was really nice, the end of March. If you guys remember, I mean, it was like stuff was budding, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I had to mow the lawn in April, so.
I think it switched. Maybe we'll get a year of summer. Like a year of summer and then a whole year of winter. I might be able to deal with that.
You could hope.
But not knowing is just killing me.
Well, hey, welcome. We got some stuff we want to share with you this week. There's some cool stuff going down at the club. It's always good down there. We've got the Growing Concern is now open.
Yeah.
That's our new extension of the G3C. It's for holistic healing and health. We've got all kinds of new herbal remedies down there. It's open to the public. There's no marijuana or anything like that. But for all your little home remedy needs, holistic healing.
It's awesome. People are loving it.
Homeopathic results or whatever. We got tinctures, herbs, teas, all kinds of stuff down there. And if you guys have time, stop in, check it out, ask some questions. You know, hey, maybe you got a head cold you're fighting. There's something natural you can take besides NyQuil or whatever. You can actually get over your cold. Or
the doctor won't tell you that stuff.
Right. And we're also pairing up with a local chiropractor, licensed chiropractor, Dr. Shelter. He's coming in there on Tuesdays, so if you guys need a back cracking, you can come on in and get that done. And then I think we're going to be offering massages soon.
There's a massage chair there already.
That's right, the iTouch.
Yeah, and Dr. Shelter is awesome. He is.
I heard you got a cracking.
Well, I've been going to him for a long time. Yeah, I had some back issues last year. I've been going to him for a while. I've missed a couple months, been real busy since Christmas, so I was really happy to see that he's a little bit closer now. Well, he's not far. He's just in Davison.
Right, but now he'd be right there at the Growing Concern, right next to the club. Looks like every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. I got an appointment. Lay it down. Boom, boom, boom.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you haven't seen him before, you're best off to go see him at his office over on M15, just north of Davison there. If you guys remember where Vans Hydro is, or Plaza is right across the street from it, there's the Paradise Video Rental and Players Inn. I think it's called something different now.
Yeah.
But you go over there, get an X-ray. It's real cheap, and make sure you're not going to fall apart when he starts working on you. And then you can start having your appointments set right there at the Growing Concern. So just swing next door, get it cracking, feel better.
Yeah, he found some stuff on my X-ray too that, my stuff was shifted, so he's able to help me out. I'm leaning different and doing different things to try to correct that issue, and it's definitely helping.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, and then as Toby mentioned, we do have the massage chair over there 24/7, so you can stop by, sit down, and relax, and have the iTouch chair go to work. It's one of those new fandangled killer massage
got in there, boy?
I was impressed, man. The first time I sat down one of those, I was like, "Oh wow, this really does work it." I mean,
it's like 1,000 gnomes behind leather.
Gnomes.
You know what's really strange though? I mean, it's like when I was a kid, doctors used to mock chiropractors, and now they're sending patients to chiropractors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, of course, I went to an osteopath, so I didn't see too much of that. Osteopaths did manipulation as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very beneficial thing to have done.
Absolutely, and for those people that are working with bone or joint pain, I think it's a great approach to that. It's something that can have a long-term effect if you keep doing it. Oh, yeah. And it's certainly a lot less invasive than having surgery or something to that effect.
And little things too, like things that I didn't know. Like if you're having tooth problems and you chew on say you chew on the right side of your mouth all the time, that messes up your whole skeleton. Like you do that for a while, you're gonna feel that in your hips.
Yep.
Which is weird.
It is funny how it's all connected. I was talking to a patient the other day, and they had mentioned that they'd gone to see Dr. Shelter, and he did some cracking on him, and there was some, I guess, hip area or whatever that he had noticed was out of place. Yeah. And he said, "Oh, I bet your stomach's been bothering you the last couple of days." And they were like, "Yeah, actually, I've had diarrhea, and it has been bothering me." He's like, "Yeah, because this part of your body's out of place." Yeah. He's like, "Now that I got that back in, you'll be feeling better." I was like, "Oh wow, I had no idea that having something out of place could affect you in that way, But
I think it has to do with our sitting a lot, like computers and games and things like that. Like
Sure.
we're not as active as we used to be. Yeah, obviously, unless we work out. Not everybody does, but. Yeah, I know I sit more than I did 20 years ago.
All kinds of things. You like headaches. You can be a chronic headache sufferer, and you don't realize that. Yeah, you've got a thing that's out in your back of your neck, and it's pinching this nerve, and then that's causing you to have these, chronic headaches or whatever.
Or also like
and if you get adjusted on a normal basis,
carpal tunnel can be a large portion that can be just eliminated through spinal manipulation.
Absolutely.
Because it does, and you do see the plexus and how they're connected after it's been relieved the pressure.
Yep.
You can see how wow, my hand doesn't have the numbness now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it restores the circulation. A lot of people will tell you that after they get adjusted, they kind of feel like a rush of their body, and it's because there's blood flowing to places that previously was pinched off, couldn't get in there. So, but like I said, that's at the Growing Concern. So if you guys can stop next door, next to the club, it's where the old Boost mobile store was.
Yeah, it's in the same strip mall little thing.
Yep, it's all been revamped. It's looking nice over there, and like I said, we've got different kinds of herbal remedies and tinctures available, and staff on hand to help you out, get you educated as to what might be helping you out.
Yeah, cure what ails you.
That's right. I know we've got the 420 party coming up on April 19th. That's coming up here soon, about a little less than a month away.
Yeah.
So be ready to party, be ready to celebrate. This is going to be our 5th one.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Jinx.
What?
I said jinx. We said amazing at the same time.
Oh, I didn't hear you're amazing. But you guys, I think tickets are available already, or if not, they will be shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys get your ticket, be ready to celebrate, and we're going to have some killer food. We got the roll-off, twist-off contest, amongst other things going on, so it'll be lots of fun.
Oh, yeah. Trophies and whatnot.
You betcha. So bring your best buds.
Enter to win.
That's right. And again, that will be on April 19th. And then I think the weekend after that, if I check here, look for a date, hanging with me. Calendar.
We are looking at the calendar. This is looking at the calendar song. Segue into the calendar. So it ain't so boring. So looking at the calendar. Okay, try it.
Excellent. I think it's the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. 26, I believe, is our Adopt a Highway. Does that sound right?
Pick it up. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully that snow will be gone.
Yeah. If it's not, it'll be a real quick cleanup. I'll tell you that. Oh, look at that. It's snowing. But yeah, we're getting ready for the Adopt a Highway, so that'll be coming up here as well. And I think, what is it, the day before that? No, excuse me. I get these confused. They're the Soup Kitchen.
Too many numbers in a month. This is craziness.
The 4th, April 4th, we got our Soup Kitchen coming up. So down at the North End Soup Kitchen, we'll be serving. And that's a week from this Friday. So
wow.
Yeah, time flies.
It does.
Absolutely. So, all right, plan on those things if you can. Looking forward to them. Should be lots of fun, as always. All right. Oh, let's see. What do we got here going on in the medical marijuana news? If you guys didn't hear this last week, looks like the state board, LARA, got their act together and finally approved PTSD as a qualifying condition. So this is pretty cool. This is the first
victory.
Yeah, victory, history. First added condition that we've been able to add on here onto the state for qualifying conditions for medical marijuana. So if you have PTSD, diagnosed symptom, you can now get that as a qualifying condition to receive medical marijuana. So
well deserved. Cool.
Absolutely.
That was a no-brainer to me. I can't even believe they questioned that.
It seemed like it should have been on there in the first place.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But, suffice to say, there are some other states out there that do not have that as a qualifying condition.
Oh, yeah.
That have actually turned it down as a qualifying condition. It's been one of those things that's come up on a review panel in a number of different states. I can think of Arizona as one of them.
Yeah.
But in Michigan, it looks like we fit the bill here. We got it done, and it is now a qualifying condition. So that's excellent news. I mean, yeah. I know that the VA is not handing out medical marijuana recommendations whatsoever. But if you are a vet and you suffer from PTSD, you could get a qualifying statement from another physician.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. You don't have to lie about it anymore and say it was something else or whatever. But so good stuff. I mean, I think that's definite. There's all kinds of research that's come out, especially in the last 12 months, about how effective medical marijuana is for PTSD. I mean, you've got actually companies right now like GW developing certain products, from cannabinoids to treat PTSD.
Yeah,
so I mean, that's kind of proof in the pudding right there.
Yeah.
But at any rate, that's good stuff. It's good news. There's not a whole lot of other news going on in the state right now. The House bills we've talked about in the past, 4271 and 5103. These are they call it the Compassionate Care Acts, or whatever you want to call them, the dispensary bill and the medical bill. These are still working their way through the Senate, and it looks like they might be getting some review put in on them. So there's still time to call your representative or senator and give your 2 cents worth. I saw there was an article in the paper today about caregivers looking for clarification. It was on MLive, and it looks like there was a new center opening up in Davison. But they were talking about the bills, and it looks like they were saying that person, an individual, I think it was Jamie Fricke they were quoting actually.
Yep.
She called it the Trojan horse bills, and because of the local option in there. You've got the one is notified as a local option bill where a community could say, well, hey, yeah, we don't want to have collectives or dispensaries in our area, so we're just going to ban them, not allow them. Which seems to me like they're already doing that. But at any rate, this bill would give them caveat, whatever you want to call it,
right?
Caviar.
Yeah.
It'd give them the ability to do so legally without being challenged. So at any rate, whether you like it, whether you don't, put your 2 cents in, be a good citizen, participate in democracy, let your representative and senator know how you feel. That'd be good stuff to do. Obviously in Genesee County, we've got a workable solution going on here with our county administrators and of course our township officials across the county. It seems like we've got a workable solution. No town is really being identified as the pot town, and yet patients are still able to get access at these different centers around the county. So, and I think that's the major concern for a lot of these township city officials. None of them wants to come out and be the next Amsterdam of Michigan.
Right.
But I think a lot of them also see that there is a need for patients and caregivers to have a place to go to other than a back alley parking lot.
Yeah, if you happen to have more patients in another community, then you're going to need more places for patients to receive help.
Yeah, absolutely. If a patient doesn't know where to go, boom, it allows a place for them to meet with a caregiver and get the meds that they need, in a safe environment when it's protected and, allowed. It doesn't have to worry about getting shut down constantly. So it's good stuff to have a little bit of direction, but we have to be careful about how we get that direction so that we're not limiting our rights. So, all right, we got some other news from around the web. Want to give you guys some information. There's, if you guys aren't aware of NIDA, I think it's the National Institute on Drug Addiction. NIDA's been the federal medical marijuana provider now for, I think it's 25 plus years, maybe more. But at any rate, there are people that are getting medical marijuana federally, even though it's not even recognized as medicine.
Right.
And have been for quite some time. In fact, it's been going on for so long now that there's only 4 people left that are still surviving that receive these pre-rolled cigarettes. I think they get like 300 pre-rolled cigarettes a month, which equates to quite a bit. I think it's a little less than like half a pound or something like that. So it's quite a bit of marijuana.
10 joints a day.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're in March.
Right.
You got to have like 9.7.
You get to splurge. Oh.
31.
February.
Yeah. Or you got to save February's excess.
Right.
For March. Anyways, this program here, it's located in the University of Mississippi. They're the only ones that have the sanction to grow weed from the federal government. And currently right now, it looks like they're working on some research. They're going to be trying to add some new strains. So, for the past 25, 30 years or so, they've only been growing one strain. So those poor folks out there that were getting weed from the government were only getting one kind and have only gotten one kind. Looks like they might be getting some new strains here in the future. They're now trying to breed a few new ranges here that would offer an equal balance of THC and CBD, which is a little bit different. The past medical marijuana provided was mostly THC, very small amount of CBD. I have seen some test results in the past, though, and I kind of would have to give them a little pushback on the high THC comment because their high THC is actually pretty low. I think their results were around 11, 12%. And then by the time the patient actually got it, it had degraded further because of poor, handling. I think it was like down to 7% or something like that. So slightly above mids.
You know what's ironic about all this is they're adding new strains, and those new strains are developed by people who are not part of that very program that it's legally allowed to do that. So they're actually they're not admitting that actually there is a medical marijuana possibilities, but wanting to add to it. The irony is just like so thick.
You bring up a good point, John, because one thing it does not mention in the article is where does NIDA get these new strains from? They just magically have them. They're just magically breeding them, according to the comments here. But
and they're federally subsidized, even though they don't admit that marijuana actually have a legitimate purpose or usage.
Yeah.
So the irony is so thick. Like I said, I just it's just like God. It is. It's literally that.
And it sucks for the patients because I'm sure these people aren't looking for taste or harshness or anything. They're looking at it in a scientific way, and they're not even trying to present a pleasant product. It's just it's probably horrible. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And to get that 7% that they are looking for is probably an awful experience.
Here's your shake.
With. Yeah.
We ground up everything.
It burns.
But they got a couple new strains they're working on. One is, like I said, equal, or they're hoping to have equal amount of THC, CBD, and then they also have plans for the future to potentially have a strain that would have lower THC and higher CBD. So sounds like they're almost kind of following what we've been talking about in the media here. I know Charlotte's Web is mentioned again as a high CBD strain. Of course, there's others out there. But no mention, mysteriously, of where are they getting these new strains from. Who knows? But at any rate, I think it's kind of interesting that NIDA is furthering their strain count, especially, this program here, it's been going on since order of, 1976. Yeah, it began in 1976.
Yeah, we've talked about this before on a different show.
So 37 years.
Right. How the patients that are still alive, they've said that the government isn't even interested in the treatment that it has. Yeah, the feedback that they're giving them on the help that it has given them. And they're like, we don't care. Just keep smoking it. And stay in the, they're like just numbers at this point to them.
I wonder if they have a bona fide patient relationship. I'm wondering. So, but and it's kind of funny. Like if you have say you wanted to have a federal drug study for marijuana, you would have to get your marijuana from the NIDA facility. So it'd have to come from University of Mississippi. So I don't know if groups like GW doing all their new drug testing, if that's really where they get their weed from, or if they just get a supply in, throw that in the trash, and then go ahead and grab their own stash.
And there's something weird. Isn't there like another company that processes it for them or something?
I'm not sure about that.
Isn't that just where they grow it? I think I heard something like
that. Do
that.
patients who are currently enrolled and get this marijuana from them, do they pay for it, or is that subsidized as well?
I believe it is subsidized.
See, it gets thicker. It gets thicker. They're financing people doing stuff that they themselves don't permit by their own law.
Yeah, and giving it to them for medical purposes when it has no medical purpose.
It's like, oh man, it goes under the expression WTF. I mean, yeah.
So, all right. Well, at any rate, that's the scoop on NIDA. Looks like they're trying to get some new strains going through. And I think it's kind of interesting. They mentioned that this has been talked about in the media, and this is kind of part of the reason for the prompting of the change here. But I think if you look behind the scenes here, certain companies right now are trying to get testing done on new products like GW's Epidiolex, which happens to have an even mix of THC and CBD.
Right.
So, it's probably more to do with the pharmaceutical companies requesting some other strains to be able to test with than anything else. But who knows? That's the scoop. It's their story, and they're sticking to it. So, all right. Next story. We've got some information here. This was a kind of interesting one. It says here, marijuana's effect on the memory is overstated. This is a new study that was found. A new study suggests, let me get this pulled up here. It was published in the March issue. Here we go. So everybody talks about, if you smoke weed, you can't remember anything. Turns out that might not be so true.
I can't remember ever having that conversation with anybody.
Well, I guess according to this, you would have forgot that shit anyways, no matter if you were smoking weed or not.
Gotcha. I'm not a dumbass.
This is published in March issue of Addiction Biology. A team of Dutch scientists found no changes in the working memory abilities of heavy cannabis users who were actually monitored for 3 years.
Yeah.
So they did a study on these folks and found out that it really doesn't do much to the memory at all.
But
So,
a few years ago, they did research on caffeine consumption and memory, retention and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they found that females actually did have a slight decrease in ability to retain stuff, where males had an accelerated rate of retention as consuming caffeine. So there's a difference between the sexes.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my wife would say I have a selective memory anyway.
Well, of course. I mean, it's like anything that you don't want to do, you say, "Oh, I forgot."
John, shut up.
I know. I do that too.
Secret. Nobody knew that before now.
Here, Dr. Kuzlin and her colleagues, they conducted a study on 49 young adults, 22 who were considered heavy cannabis users. And the researchers measured brain activity of subjects during various cognitive tasks at the start of the study and then 3 years later. And at the follow-up, both cannabis users and non-users showed no changes in the memories or in the measurements of a working memory. So the conclusion was cannabis may not necessarily be affecting people's memory the way they thought it did.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Dispelling myths left and right.
It's awesome.
All right.
That's funny you said that. I seen a Mythbusters is doing a thing.
That should have been on
They're
Mythbusters.
trying to dispel false rumors about marijuana.
Did they talk
It
about
might have been something that I don't know. Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet.
All right, we got some information here. This is on Alzheimer's for the folks out there that are interested in that. This is a research that's been kind of put together, at any rate, talking about 5 different ways that cannabinoids or cannabis could help fight Alzheimer's. So that's kind of neat. And I've heard of some of these before, but let's go over these again. Number 1, it combats inflammation, and it plays a major role in Alzheimer's. Inflammation does. So this here is thought to combat the inflammation in the brain. And it turns out the compounds in marijuana target the immune cells found called the CB2 receptors. And it says that several studies have found the activation of CB2 receptors can reduce neuron inflammation in Alzheimer's disease. So it's kind of cool. It says also THC acts on CB1 receptors, and CB1 activity may also interfere with inflammatory processes as well. So that's one of the reasons. Number 2, protects against Alzheimer's plaque. Accumulation of plaque in the brain is a primary hallmark of Alzheimer's disease, and plaques are highly visible in brain scans of patients. And it says here that that believes to play a role in the loss of neurons. That's part of the reason why
Makes sense.
these folks get Alzheimer's. It says here studies have shown certain cannabinoids can protect neurons against plaque and its effects.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool. Good little protective layer.
Hell yes.
Yeah. Says here can be taken without causing a high. We know that. Promotes growth. Promotes growth.
Promotes growth. What's up, bro?
Promotes growth of brain cells.
Yeah, see, that dispels a myth, too. They used to say it kills brain cells, millions of brain cells.
Yeah, no. It actually makes your brain
Promotes.
grow. A study in 2004 published in the European Journal of Neuroscience found that cannabinoids could increase levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is a protein known to play a key role in promoting neurogenesis and brain plasticity. All right, and then also marijuana mimics current treatments. So a lot of the drugs used for treating Alzheimer's work by preventing the breakdown of signaling of a signaling molecule called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine.
Acetylcholine.
Sounds right to me.
Acetylcholine. Yeah.
Acetylcholine. Thank you, John.
There you go.
Interesting. In addition to their unique benefits, studies show cannabinoids can affect acetylcholine in the same way as current medications. So it's kind of cool. So
Yeah, completely natural.
I don't think Alzheimer's is on the qualifying conditions list in Michigan.
So either.
I don't think it is. I think there's some things that go along with Alzheimer's that a person could get qualified for potentially.
Probably because it's more of an elderly disease, and probably not a lot. Well, elderly aren't even turned on to that. They're not even.
But
I don't know. I'm good. You know what I mean? They're old school.
Well, at that point, they may not be really cognitive enough
Right.
to be
They
looking
just
for their
need
own
it.
solutions. Maybe their family is, or their
Right.
doctors are looking for something to help alleviate some of those symptoms. I know it's not
awesome.
something I would normally associate, marijuana use for Alzheimer's, but seems like it may be an effective treatment method, or at least in conjunction with some of the other things that are out there potentially.
Right.
So, it's kind of cool,
Can't hurt no more than drinking a tea.
right? It's not going to have bad side effects,
Right.
that's for sure. So that's good news.
I was wondering if Alzheimer's is more prevalent in the United States than it is in the other countries, and I think it is. I think a lot of it's chemical exposure that causes Alzheimer's, or can help accelerate it. That's my own opinion from what I've seen, but I never examined that. But I think if it keeps the if it stops it from being swollen, that definitely prevents damage being done. So that in
Absolutely.
itself makes sense.
All right, here's another study that came out. It says marijuana may provide relief from migraines. I know a number of patients in our club can attest to that.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's 50-50 for me.
yeah,
It just depends, I guess.
keyword here, may provide.
Yeah, it may.
Researchers at C. Mondino National Neurological Institute in Italy may have found evidence that compounds of marijuana can ease pain during migraine attacks. So,
Pain, yes.
there we go. So, published March 17th in the Journal of Headache and Pain. Do you get that magazine, Journal of Headache and Pain?
No,
You might want to get that.
I should. I might have to, because it happens to me once a month or so.
It says here, teams showed that rats given a synthetic marijuana-like drug experience given a synthetic marijuana-like drug experience less pain during experimentally induced migraines. That sounds terrible. How do they experimentally induce migraines in a rat? Is the rat like sitting around its cage going?
Yeah.
I just got this image of a rat sitting there. I got this image of a rat smoking a bowl or something like that too.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it says here, findings suggest that pharmacological manipulation of the CB2 receptor may present a potential therapeutic tool for the treatment of a migraine. So, I know a number of patients, like I said, some find relief, some don't.
Yeah, I
kind
get
of
them,
depends.
and I'll notice like when I feel like I'm starting to come, I'll start medicating more heavily, and either it never cures it or anything, but it'll like ward it off for a day. I'll like get an extra day where it's just kind of lingering. It's not hammering, yet. So I know it might slow them down by my personal research.
Okay. But not necessarily guaranteed to take it all away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. All right. Next one up here, Utah. Looks like they might be the next state to have medical marijuana available to patients out there. They're working on a bill.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. It's going through their legislature, so it's not a voter initiated ballot or anything like that. But at any rate, they are working on at least some form of medical marijuana out there. The rules, or at least the language there, it's not exactly as good as you might hope for. It's a research-only type proposal, so it doesn't necessarily make it available to patients or give them carte blanche right to go ahead and get it. But at any rate, it's a step forward.
Positive step. Yeah.
They're looking at allowing at least research to occur for the medical use of marijuana, and potentially allow patients the ability to be able to use it. It doesn't give them an avenue to be able to access it, so they might have to go to their neighbor state, like Colorado or something.
See, that kind of makes sense to me now, because that's how they are. They're like self-governed almost. So
Yeah.
they're probably like, we don't believe none of all the outside research that we've already done in all the other states. They're like, no, we'll see for ourselves. We'll do the research for ourselves.
You're gonna do
That's it.
some Mormon marijuana research.
Yeah. Those tests were by unclean hands.
Well, isn't it Brigham Young University? That's not in Utah, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, it's right there in Salt Lake City, I think, or nearby.
So they're gonna do it there.
Well, Brigham Young.
They don't even like people drinking coffee. That's gonna be that must be an admission though. If you actually look at the strictness of the religion, they didn't want people. They discouraged people from drinking coffee or tea, or Coca-Colas or whatever. So if they're willing to go do this, this legislation, that's a big admission on their behalf.
Huh.
Yeah, I would say, because they're very strongly connected to healthy living and eschewing anything that might be considered somewhat even harmful.
Oh, they shoe it all right.
They chew it. They chew it.
Shoot it like a horse. The Amish, they don't have anything to do with that. Maybe the Mennonites, right? They might be on that train with their hot boxes and their vaporizers.
Well, they actually would, the Mennonites would probably be the ones more adopting it. Of course, if you want to believe that Amish Mafia thing, that the TV show, they're already selling drugs anyway in their community. So I don't know if that's true, but I don't even want to watch it. I watched it 3 times.
Stuff, you talking?
What'd you say?
They were like smuggling coke or something?
Yeah, they did get busted. I remember reading the news release one time, and actually there was a cell working within one of the Amish communities in Pennsylvania that was bringing in major trafficking, and stuff like that. So
that'd be a funny sight, just seeing them like building entertainment centers, because they don't use that. They're like, joke's on you, stupid entertainment centers, and then they're just packing them full of cocaine and shit them out.
They got like a secret drop door in their carriage.
Right. I know they drink. I know they're allowed to make beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that. Because that's from the old country. See, the Mennonite are actually older order, and the Amish splintered off of them, according to what I've read. And there's like
more things away from themselves.
Yeah, they did. They thought the Mennonites were becoming more decadent, I think, or something like that. And so I think that's a way. I got a book on them one time, found it at a bookstore, and they're kind of like an enigmatic group to me because they don't talk much amongst themselves, outside themselves.
Zippers.
Yeah. What do you say?
Damn you, zippers.
Yeah, zippers. They need buttons, but no, they're very. But the Mennonites do actually adapt more to the the modern day technology. They just don't believe in if they drive an automobile, there's no ornamentation on it.
How do we get on?
Yeah, it's about the Amish and the Mormons. Okay, there's a thread. There's a thread. There's a thread.
It's just because you're Mormon does not make you.
Hey, they all look the same to me.
No, the Mormons are very much. You can. I don't think you can tell a Mormon apart from any one of us. I know Mormons that look just like a lot of us, but
a few extra wives.
Right. Well, that's the radical sex. I got one of my good friends is actually a Mormon, and if you saw him, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
No.
Yeah.
Of course not.
No, but the Amish, they definitely go around trying to make a pronouncement about difference between themselves and the world. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The horse and buggy kind of
gives it away.
The straw hat, the long beard.
Right.
I don't know.
And that's on the women, right? No.
All right. Moving on here. Yes, Utah may be next state to have medical marijuana. So, at any rate,
we've proven we know nothing about Utah.
Yeah. And it is the Olympics there once, eh? Okay, let's move on here. We got 6 facts, about THC. Number one, it was discovered in 1964 by an Israeli doctor named Raphael Meshulam.
Trying to figure out why that hash was getting so high.
Yeah. Actually, Dr. Meshulam has said he has never used marijuana, even though he's been researching it since 1964.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And of course, he's from Israel, still there. Anyway, at any rate.
Number two?
Number two. THC is one of more than 60 different active cannabinoids that we've found so far. Dr. Meshulam's discovered quite a few of them, even though he stumbled upon THC first. THC is used in FDA-approved pharmaceuticals. I think most of you know that. Marinol is THC only, basically. Right. Number 4. We just talked about this one. THC can protect brain cells and actually stimulate their growth. So, contrary to popular belief, like you're saying, myth, it doesn't actually kill off your brain cells. It actually helps them grow, or at least protect them.
Yeah, forget the egg frying in the frying pan thing that you saw when you was a kid. It's not true.
That's meth.
Is that meth?
That's meth.
Okay, I'll buy that.
And then another one here, number 5, chemicals just like THC are found in our body. They're known as anandamide, and it's a natural form of THC. It's something our body produces all on its own, whether or not you use cannabis anyways.
Right.
And last one, number 6, THC doesn't always come with a high. So that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
THC does not always have its effect on its own. So there you go. 6 facts about THC. Let's talk about CBD. You can't forget about the original, man.
Right.
It's the original.
THC, CBD, East Coast family, never skipped a beat. Oh.
All right, and I thought this one here was kind of interesting. It's a new marijuana drug being developed. This is by GW Pharmaceutical, and it's potentially going to be used to treat schizophrenia. And I don't know, it's another oxymoron they were talking about. You know, back in the past, they always said one of the side effects of marijuana use could be, or long-term marijuana use could be, schizophrenia. And we've dispelled that rumor before on the show, but this one here is kind of interesting. It's the opposite, in that GW Pharmaceuticals has announced on Monday it's starting phase 2 of clinical trials on a drug made from marijuana, CBD specifically, and it's basically a purified form of it, as they're calling it. But it's showing promise for improving symptoms of schizophrenia. What?
Huh? I don't know. Do I like marijuana? I don't know. Do we? Oh.
THC is bad. CBD is good. What?
Yeah.
So the new drug there being developed. Potentially, it's on trial, and we'll see if that's going to be put out. There's a study published in the Journal of Translational Psychiatry in 2012 compared CBD with traditional antipsychotic and amisulpride, and found CBD was just as effective, but caused far less side effects.
Right.
Kind of cool.
So what I'm wondering is, the people that originally wrote all the lies about marijuana, are they feeling stupid yet? Like every day, you know, things are coming out to dispel their lies.
They've got like the list of lies at home on the wall. And
Right.
Oh, damn it!
Another one.
Damn!
I'm getting stupider by the minute. People hate me.
They're gonna call me a liar. Liar. All right. Minnesota governor says medical pot bill is dead, and the activists say he's wrong. This is from TokeOfTheTown.com. Governor Mark Dayton basically was on the radio and said that his proposal to research medical marijuana hasn't gotten any love from the advocates of broader legalization, but he put the prospects of passing it between slim and none. So not looking
People
too
are
good.
mad.
Yeah.
What?
Minnesota. It's the land of 1,000 lakes, not bakes. So, oh well, there we go. So don't go to Minnesota, I guess. They're still working on it.
They got the water.
Let's see, another one. Florida, I had heard their ballot language is being contested in the Supreme Court, saying that the language is too ambiguous. So we'll see. Looks like it's kind of getting flopped around. I'd heard that it already went through the Supreme Court. Now I saw another article saying the opposite. So at any rate, looks like they're battling it out down there, trying to see if they can get medical marijuana on the ballot. And we'll see if we can get some clarification on this in the next week or two, as far as what's going on down there in the sunny state. South Carolina also has a CBD-only bill, and it's very similar to the Utah one we were just talking about. So it's kind of a research-only thing, potentially allowing patients access to CBD products only, or at least high CBD ratios. And I really think it's funny that this language obviously had to come from somewhere central and then kind of get passed out around to different state legislators. I know Georgia was another state that had one. Oklahoma was another one. I think Missouri was another state that had some similar language. So it's kind of a central themed idea that's been passed around here. But at any rate, to me, it seems like some sort of a misnomer that these folks that are considering this legislation really don't understand what it is they're dealing with. Someone sold them sort of a fake bag of...
They're only recognizing the painkiller properties of the marijuana. They only want they're seeing it as a painkiller.
As a caregiver, I can attest that you can't just grow a CBD-only plant.
Right.
Even if you go get Charlotte's Web or whatever it is that they're talking about, there's a few other ones out there like Green Crack or Catatonic. These strains don't just have CBD only.
Of course not. There's 60 different things in them.
Absolutely.
As we just see.
And of course, it's still going to have THC in it, maybe a reduced amount or equal amount, but it's still going to be in there. So, to craft a bill that says, well, you can have medical marijuana, but it has to be a CBD only marijuana. To me, it's either
make sense.
completely baloney. They don't know what they're doing, or it's like some sort of back-ended crap so that they can get a product like from GW Pharmaceuticals or something like that eventually approved, so where they can actually provide a CBD only product. But as a plant grower, I can tell you can't do that. It has to be extracted out somehow. But anyways, all right. Additional report came out. Another one that says medical marijuana is a beneficial treatment for MS. I think there's got to be like 30 reports now about that.
That's what Montel Williams had it for back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's helped him greatly, apparently.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of patients that have MS that would attest to the same thing. I mean, it's certainly is useful. But can you imagine being one of those guys though? You're like, yes, we finally get to do a marijuana test.
Right.
Like, yeah, but you got to do it on something that's already been done. You got to test him. You got to see if it gets these mice high. What?
Okay.
Now we're going to do something useful. All right. Let's see if we got anything else out there. Wisconsin. Cheeseheads.
All right.
All right. Wisconsin, U.S. congressional candidate used medical cannabis to help with grief over slain father. I don't think grief is a qualifying condition there, dude.
No. Grief passes without marijuana.
I see. So he moved to California, though, to get around that.
Must have been really grieving. No.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But we just got done talking about that in the show before we wrapped up the show before you guys came in here, and it's like people going to doctors to get something after they lose a loved one. I mean, my personal opinion is you basically gotta go through that. I mean, I don't think any kind of chemical can prevent you from dealing with that, and I think you should just deal with it. You know, I mean, unless it's like I can see it was a murder or something like that. You found the body or something like that. In the temporary have a situation to calm your nerves, but the grief you got to just deal with.
Well, they said they're dealing with anxiety, panic attacks, complete loss of appetite. I mean, at some point, if these things start to affect your overall health, it's not just like a temporary thing you're going through. You can't seem to get past that.
True.
Maybe there is something that...
Maybe some people suffer more. I don't know. I just, I've lost loved ones and, horrifically, quickly. And
I mean, to a point, I kind of agree with you, John.
Yeah.
I think it's, it's a natural process and something that you just have to go through.
some people might be harder wired. I don't know. Or,
But, if somebody like loses their appetite and they can't eat for a couple of weeks, I mean, obviously...
I'd welcome that.
Definitely
But
gonna help.
Some people might really appreciate that, others maybe not so much. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that, to me, I think like if you're going to go to a physician and you're looking at some type of prescription treatment type method, then why not also look at alternative treatment type methods?
Well, it's definitely going to help everything.
Whether it be a herbal tea or marijuana or whatever,
But it's not going to cure it.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Arkansas marijuana legalization proposal is shot down by their state AG.
Oh, really?
Yes. Looks like their AG, Dustin McDaniel, says that their language is too ambiguous. Like they got the playbook. They're just passing it around.
Right.
Hey, Florida, you got anything for this over there? Yeah.
Ambiguous.
Here, let me text you. The keyword is ambiguous.
Man.
So, and a lot of these ballot proposals are limited to a certain amount of words. You can't write a whole novel. You can't, I was at the voting booth and 3 hours later, I figured out what I was voting on. Well, there has to be a limit to these things. So, but then they limit it down. They try to put in there as much detail as they possibly can so the voters can make an educated decision at the voting booth. And but yet the Attorney General is saying, no, that's not clear enough. So it's got to go back to the drawing board. We'll see what happens out there and in Arkansas. And being that Bill Clinton's from Arkansas, I mean, maybe they need to have a certain language in there that you can inhale.
There you go.
Maybe it was a vaporizing only bill. I don't know.
Yeah. No. We ain't going for it.
Topical application.
or medibles, maybe medibles. Yeah, you can't inhale it, but you can, consume it.
I don't know. So at any rate, Arkansas is still in the dark down there, and it looks like they might be for a little while longer. A New Jersey lawmaker may possibly introduce a recreational legalization legislation. So they're calling it a long shot. I would have to agree. Seems like New Jersey can't seem to get their medical marijuana program out of the out and running anyways. So, all right. And then lastly here, I wanted to cover this. This is from Arizona. And I think it's kind of interesting. Arizona, if you look at their law and then you look at some of the court cases and how their attorney general's been reacting, I mean, it's like Arizona and Michigan are definitely sharing the same playbook here.
Yeah.
It is just, I mean, tit for tat, almost exact same issues. So, and some of the legislation that's currently in Arizona right now is almost exactly what we're dealing with as well.
Really?
So, like the local option bill and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, Arizona right now, they've got a court case going through, and a judge ruled that medical marijuana extracts are legal under their state MMJ program, which is kind of the opposite of what we had here with the Carruthers case in Michigan, stating that, the other forms or marijuana extracts would not necessarily be protected under Section 4 of the Act here in Michigan. Of course, it could still be protected by Section 8, but they didn't really address that. So in Arizona, they had the guts to stand up and say, no, they are included. There was a family there that were using extracts for their son to help control his seizures. And Superior Supreme Court there in Maricopa County received help from the ACLU of Arizona, and also threats of possible felony prosecution by County Attorney Bill Montgomery. So the judge, Catherine Cooper, set Montgomery straight in a ruling filed on Friday, telling him and the state plaintiffs that the Arizona medical marijuana law does authorize patients to use extracts, including CBD oil prepared from the marijuana plant. So there you go. But yeah,
that's crazy to me. I used to live out there, and they were just zero tolerance. I mean,
well, sure, being a border state
for a year just for a seed,
Yeah, really, for a seed.
You could buy a used car, get pulled over driving it home. Cop reaches down in the seat, finds a seed or an old joint or something. Yeah, you're gone for a year. No, that's zero tolerance.
Wow. So
in Maricopa County, that's Phoenix.
Okay.
Phoenix, Glendale, Peoria area.
Ah. So, well, at least they have medical marijuana down there.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. That's about it for this week. That's all we have to share with you. Anything else you want to put out there to the viewers?
Join us next week. Keep tuning in. And we're working on new stuff, too.
Yeah.
Going to make the podcast better and better and better.
Working on it. So thanks for joining us this week. We appreciate it. Guys, come join us next week. We'll be glad to come to you here from live at flinttalksradio.com. Catch us on ustream.tv, of course. John, thanks for being in the studio with us. We appreciate it. Hopefully it'll be warmer next week.
Oh, man.
Maybe next week.
Maybe.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care. Have a good one.
Later on.